have the intermediate, you also have the high level coaches who now get to international standard. We have those standards, and that's the reason why some of you are in these clubs. You have coaches who are beginning, you have coaches who are in the middle, you have coaches who are now senior coaches, okay? And you're moving step by step. And this is why you go for qualifications to get better and better, okay? I'm sure you have very many clubs, very many coaches in your clubs, but then each person is given a role to take, and each role is based on what they can do. Okay, so that's very important for us to note, as in when you're doing these kind of procedure. And I'll also say, even us as Uganda Swimming Federation, when we're looking at coaches, we look at you in your different capacities. Okay, we look at you in your qualification capacity, okay, and your possibility and ability to actually be able to handle athletes. With this kind of things, we as a federation examine and we're sure that we can be able to deal with X because of so and so. So looking at it from a federation perspective, we look at that qualification, it helps us, and as we educate you and as you educate yourself, we then know where to place you, okay? But while I'm going to that, I'll just tackle out a few things that we also look at while we're doing that, okay? Now, a high-level coach is a coach who will be dealing with a high-level age group, which is mostly going to represent the country, okay? And those are the ones that most of the time you find that are bringing the teams, and those are the ones mostly you'll find that we're selecting, and so on and so forth. And that's why you find even when we're doing selection of events, you're finding it's the high-level coaches that are being looked into as compared to, you know, the learn to swim who come on and bring on the swimmers to a certain level, okay? Because the capability of holding a swimmer who is a teenager, 13, 14, okay, and you deal with maybe 5, 6, is totally different, okay? Some coaches, I think one of the coaches one time almost cried in one of our events. They went out and one of the teenagers said, "I'm not doing it." Whatever they were requested to do, he said, "I'm not doing it." Now this coach had been told, he said, "You're joking." Even the way you talk to these athletes, it depends. I remember I used to have an assistant when I was coaching before, and it took things very personal because children depends from where they grow up from. Kasaga is locked out. It depends from where they learn things from. Back home they ask questions, they are answered, okay? But now here they ask you a question and you feel it's offending. Muzangani. He takes it very personal. Julia and Sven, I'm just using some words to mean how it's addressed back home here. I don't want to respond because for you, where you grew up from, or one atabuza, they don't ask questions. Now here, child asking, so why do we have to do that? So do we really have to do that training session? They give all sorts of comments. I know, but then you just have to answer the question and make things easier for the athlete in any event, okay? And your capability. Now, for example, you bring teams to the national championships, which is the national championships, okay? Your behavior as you bring the team is what is going to tell us if you can be able to handle a team. If you can't deal with your own home team, then how can you be able to deal with the national team? Do you understand? Okay? Even in the team managers meeting, you can be able to pick out, okay, how you see the other coach handling. He comes, they are organized, they sit down, they go to the call room, they are coming back, he has assistants, she has assistants who help. But someone wants to come alone. You have 60 swimmers. Because you want to be alone. I work with others, and I've shared this again and again. Work with others so that you're a team. It's all behavior. And here, when we see you bring a team, we understand your discipline, we understand even how you cooperate. For example, we have incidences, Shan. We have incidences where you find a coach coming to report. I think it was Anita's secondary school swimming girl. The coach came crying at the desk. He came crying. Why was he crying? Because the child was disqualified. He can't. Meanwhile, it's not the coach who swam. No, if it was the coach who swam, it was the masters, I would have understood. We try and analyze, and also you as coaches, there's a code of conduct under which we allow you to also carry yourself, okay? Don't be swindled off. Actually, swimming, statistically, and my colleague, the president, Moses, I hope you know this, but swimming is seen as one of the sports with the most educated personnel. Most educated in all the federations. Moses, do you know that? Okay. Those kabogozas who masters what. Just because they are whistling with kids. Lawyer is there. He's with the pen scratching the head. But they are there. Even the officials, we have lawyers, we have serious cases, doctors. Okay?
Farmers.
Farmers. Thank you. Farmers. But now it's not farming because here leaf. But that's not farming. But now, so members, when you conduct yourself, that's why certain times now when we look at things in the platform, okay? Shall hold it on. When you look at things in the platform, you see and wonder now, because there are certain things we shouldn't be doing. We can share as much as we want, but we have to be regulatable. We have to deal with like where you argue like someone who has studied. Okay? Not in a way just to be as if you're uttering out info. Now your head is like a giraffe. Yeah, even you, your eyes are like for a frog. Yeah. Back and forth. This one does this, it passes. This one does this, it passes. And then the whole league just comes on. We have to put ourselves to a certain standard. Argue, but when you know, it comes without an abuse. Without an abuse, address your things. It's packaged. Read your things before you send. Reread. Those things I normally send. I read, I find an error again. I read. But the thing is, package yourself and then share the information so that people see some sense in it. Alright? But not in a way of now with Wachikola, you're like a broker. Okay? So that's one of the ways on how we look at things. But members, just to let you know, still in regards to do with safeguarding and things, we have a regulatory body that deals with coaches that are affiliated to us, which is USCA. Okay, we work hand in hand with them. Recently, they ran that the course, the safeguarding course. Okay, you remember for the few of you who turned up. Okay, but because it's USCA, they don't have money, they have no budget. They collected a little, 20K from people, and they managed to get some drinks and things. But when we call you for these courses, attend. But now, we are not going to make it optional anymore. No. It has become very important. It's now going to be mandatory. It's going to be mandatory, and we're going to offer the help. The Federation is looking at expanding and becoming even more professional. There was a colleague here who wanted to see how we work. She came, I think you invited her. She asked to come and see from another federation. She wanted to see how we run our things. But there's so many things that are being said. Amongst the things that we also have, our own challenges. Like he mentioned, communication, which I take, I agree, and so many other things, okay? But then, also at least we're at a certain level, but we're not the best, but we can be the best. And through you guys, we can even be the best. But even when we reach there will be other challenges, like the modern world challenges. People are crying, they're dying, they're on CNN, they don't have, what is it? Internet, the home telephone is not working, but their mobile phone is working. And that is a problem, she's crying at home. So those are problems of a higher level. Now us also will get to that level. It doesn't mean it will be all clean, but we're going to try and really clean the house, okay? But now one of the most important things is safeguarding, and we're going to make it mandatory, where we will be running a clinic online, or at least live if we have a budget, and every coach will be asked to attend every year. Failure to attend it, we're not going to list you, because now we're going into the Sports Law Act. There are certain things we have to make very clear. For you to be listed among the coaches of Uganda Swimming Federation, we will put you on the website, a photo, your passport photo. One, not that photo, not that, but this one, we will have you on the website, but it will indicate that one, the coach is affiliated to USF, They are also have done safeguarding. They have done a life-saving course. We'll receive data and info from the life-saving team, and we will show that these are the people up. But there are other things that you really needed to get before you can get an ID number and an ID. Okay? We'll want you to at least be able to get the certificate of good conduct from the Interpol. Certain things Don has been speaking about, they are real. We have incidences. Okay? You have incidences where the coach is involved in some things you don't understand. Okay? Yes, you might be with us and we thank you. You might be a coach. Well done. But the thing is, do we know what you're doing later? We don't. But are you law abiding? That's the question. So don't think you'll come to us with a face and a smile, and then on the other side you're doing something that is outrageous against the country's will. No. You can't be doing something outside and you come to us and you be, because we're going to put you on the website. You must be law abiding. So that teaches you also how to be. How to be. Now you guys have clubs. Okay? You have clubs. Alright? You have parents. Is that true? Yes. Now parents belong to you. They don't belong to us. Why? If they belong to us, you have no empowerment. If a parent can jump you and skip you and come to me, then you have no role. Is that clear? You have no role because the parent now is saying, Baba Kasaga Agani, just max mkwano kwafi. For this number of time, would like you to come and volunteer. Well, and then we get a report. That's why whenever these coaches go out, they make a report and send it to us. Okay? You have other events that you go and attend. Like some went to Dubai, some went where, we do a report, it's not ours. We don't know. But whenever we turn up for our events, say you're going for whatever games, whatever championships, you write a report, you hand it. We know how you managed. How did your assistant work? How did this one do? How did this one? That takes them on to the next one. But remember, it starts from the national championships. You bringing a team and managing your team from home. We need to see that. It needs to be clear. Okay? Even how you address, I have a problem with how people speak. Okay? How you address issues, how you speak to people matter. You don't just shout at people and put them on the light and, no, you can find a very nice way of how to say things. So to me that it becomes an issue. So when we see you bring a team, we need to see that kind of organized manner. And then from there we see how to take you on far. Some have requested, like for example now, recently, we have coaches who have written to us, have approached us. Oh, I have my money, I have a sponsor, I have Sudhir, I would like to volunteer and go for these same championships as a coach, to volunteer. Okay? Are you listening? I have my money, I've never coached before internationally, but I want to come to the World Championships or Ghana as a volunteer coach. I'm paying for my accommodation, I'm paying for my flights, I will pay for my meals and transport with you. Now, this would be a very nice thing, but do you know what it would do to us in the long run? It would destroy us. Ask me how. This guy who is taking me a video right now is a great guy. If he's coached, he just started coaching yesterday, and he has joined the coaching fraternity, and he has Sudhir behind his back. Okay? You guys remember you've been coaching for years. For years. You're following the system. He comes, he volunteers. He travels to the Olympic Games in Paris. He comes back. His shoulders when he went, they were here. Now he comes back, the shoulders are here. Now he's talking. We were getting down. You try and talk to him, he says, we're going to Olympics. And now you become offended, yet you actually a senior coach. But because he has gone too early, it becomes the same thing with the athletes. When you hurry and take the kid, I remember Chirabo, it was an issue. She had made those times. Remember when she was 12, 27, that the girl was looking 27, the best in Africa. Kirabo. And the coach said, no, he will not go. Following your system as a coach and your policies and what you agree. But even us, we agree with it, and that's the long-term development thing that we're going to be listening into again. When you go too early, it spoils everything. Now you come back, I've already done it. Now, we will not have that Shirabu where she is if we did that. Okay? But at that time, people didn't see it. And it was an issue. He's making the time. He's making it. If he's 7 years old and he's making 22 to 21. No. Okay? But these are things just to show you how we're looking at the team growing. But coaches, it's a very important thing for us to grow in a systematic way. We all understand each other. We have our own differences. But also again, I think Moses standing up is a sign of I'm delaying, but I'm not listening to you. Moses, sit down. But the thing is, again, just to bring things up a little bit, is that even you as coaches, with your own grudges, don't take things too personal and bring them on to some other people who are trying to be. Okay? And I wish those coaches were here today to listen to what I'm saying right now. Okay? I'm not seeing them. They are not here. But I need them to be here. You find someone having a one-on-one with you, you're bringing it on that. Why would you put it on the forum? What is that for? Okay? And why? And also the etiquette under which we address certain things. Okay? You can ask a question. And that's why sometimes you see it's not even, you're not receiving a response. Because how have you addressed it? Okay? But we cannot be fighting against each other because of X, Y, Z, and everyone is mobbing up towards someone. You can't do that. Okay? That's totally unacceptable. The group is there, talk whatever you want, make us laugh if you wish to, it's okay. Okay? But let's maintain a certain way of discipline on how we communicate.